really special today to share with the entire world. We have a new BSS in the constellation of building system specialists, and we are really proud and happy to share today that we have another graduation, a really special professional coming or working now in Hong Kong. And we want to also introduce because he was learning and doing the BSS title at the same time that we were needing to develop and manage a lot of projects in his office, and he was dealing with a lot of situation that was doing probably the learning and training part even more special. But at the end, we are happy because today we are celebrating his graduation. We will share with the entire world his work, the work of Richard. And Richard, that is our last BSS building system specialist coming from Hong Kong, architect, and really amazing with BIM and design, and also now going into the computational direction. I'm really happy and proud to present him. And we will start also sharing his project final that I'm sure we will create a big impact in all of you. And the most important, we will have a discussion with him at the end. He will let you know better about himself, his professional life, and also the explanation from the project and some questions. So let's enjoy today with Richard, our new BSS, the new virtual graduation, and let's share his amazing work with you. Let's share his work. And we have the screen. Yes. So let's start.
Yes.
Thanks, Richard. The future is bright.
Most definitely.
So thanks a lot, Richard, for all these months, all this hard work that you perform. And even more, yeah, you finished the BSS title and you made this great work that now we want to share with the world. We want that you explain with your own words, with your own feelings through it. How was the experience and also the work behind, and also, yeah, how is going in your professional career and also for next steps. So big welcome to Richard. We pass you the word, and thanks for your hard work and also now presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andres. Thank you very much, Laura, for inviting me to the graduation today. So yeah, as has been said already, based here in Hong Kong, Wan Chai to be exact. And before I tell you a little bit about the project, I'll just give you a little background from myself and my kind of reasoning drivers for being here, and then we can discuss like the project. So anyway, so in July 2023, I joined Ten Design as their BIM manager for our NEOM projects, which are all based in Saudi Arabia. And then January 2024, I progressed into my firm-wide role, which is to lead design technology for Ten Design globally. So I've been on a bit of a personal and professional journey over the past years now to try and bridge that gap between design and technical teams for a smoother project stage transitions. So going back to what the essence of BIM management is, this is about managing information throughout the life cycle of a project. So I combined my BIM experience with my current role as Associate Director for Design Technology, and interpreted this to mean managing geometry and managing design information across platforms. So there were three reasons for this. The first was to avoid duplication of work for technical teams. The second was to, a large one, to adapt to the ever-changing design, and this we all know as architects. And then the third was to create awareness and to encourage the use of computational design in the context of its connection to the BIM environment. So to do this, at a company-wide global scale, I knew that Ten Design and myself, we had to develop a deeper understanding of interoperability. So Ten Design, we're a design-focused studio. We utilize Rhino and Revit very heavily. And with the role that I have now, I was given the opportunity to bridge that gap between the design and technical delivery by upskilling with PAZ Academy. So their approach, which was really cool, was to provide design technology professionals such as myself with computational thinking and complex workflow skills to connect Rhino to Revit using Grasshopper. Okay, so a little bit about the program. So during the 38-week program, I completed many complex challenges and developed a range of technical workflows that elevated my computational thinking. And this was all aimed at supporting the range of typologies at Ten Design across the globe. And in the context of the Revit connection, we explored deeply into computational design, interoperability, data management, environmental analysis, and visualization. So my aim now is to lead Ten Design's design technology function and support all of our project teams using the cutting edge skill, maybe even bleeding edge skill, and knowledge. So since March, we've actually implemented quite a lot of the concepts that I'm getting through PAZ Academy on our projects. The key ones are the residential developments that we're producing in China, along with the retail development. So very different typology. So it gave me a good opportunity to kind of expand my skill use on these different project types. And also, in June of this year, I delivered a presentation to the Hong Kong International Architects Annual Conference, again here in Hong Kong. And it was about how Ten Design are exploring computational workflows and connecting systems across the project stages. And it was really successful. So thank you for PAZ for supporting me with that one. And yeah, so as you saw, my final project, which was Neon Tower, which was situated in Neon Park. This project was a combination of every challenge during this 38-week intensive program. So it was a computationally driven tower, as you can imagine, surrounded by dynamic geometries and a futuristic aesthetic that comes to life at night with neon lighting, hence the name Neon Park. So I started the process using an AI image generator to create the initial concept render for my project. Then I created the entire tower and additional features using Grasshopper. And always having that consideration of design change in mind, I wanted the flexibility of having complete control over every building system subject to change. So elements such as the building footprint, the lobby and roof canopies, the balcony configurations, edge profiles, and railings. These are all created parametrically, and of course with design change in mind. Now, PAZ strong enforces strong organization when it comes to scripting methodology. So what we did is created like a user interface within Grasshopper full of parameters, which allowed me to control all of the geometries I just mentioned, and then allowed for the instant updates in Revit, which was extremely cool. And you can just see the efficiency being gained as you're going through these workflows. But a key point to note is by developing the design in Grasshopper, I wanted to encourage our design teams to consider developing their design in this way, as it allows, as I mentioned, for near real-time updates to Revit models, really saving hundreds of hours of production. And that's the key, because time is money. And after completing the design, I had a fully parametric and rational architectural project, which was the centerpiece of the final project video that you just saw. And surrounding the tower were many of the computational geometries that are created as part of the challenges And these were obviously developed in Grasshopper with that live connection to Revit, which is really, really important. And finally, I exported the Revit model into Twinmotion to bring the urban development to life using realistic materials, lighting, and elements such as vegetation, water features, people. And yes, the final project was challenging, but also a lot of fun. And the big takeaway from this and from the academy was that as a design firm, and all design firms, we can and we must develop our computational skills in the context of connecting systems using these intelligent workflows. So with that, I will hand it back over to you guys and hope you enjoy the rest of the graduation, as I. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Richard, for your nice words and explanation. Always generous when you are presenting and also talking about us, and also, I suppose, your colleagues and family, all the support that you were having during those months, also that make us better professionals and push us to the next level. We want to say thanks to all the people also was there and also in parallel with Richard and also supporting in one or another way, because we are really thankfully all these people at the end is our network, our life, our part of ourselves. And I think it's really important also to mention them. But what we want to also ask you, Richard, because I think your profile, it's kind of ideal for this training. And now we will go step by step, because we know it's not the easy training for all the people. No, it's a lot of complexity, digestion, a lot of things that we need to deal, and pass through. And we know that's a hard point, but you were having the intention, the attitude since the first days, in the first second. Hey guys, I want to go through it. Hey guys, I want to be there. Hey guys, I want to learn all these things because it's super important. We need as soon as possible in the office. I want to support my colleagues. So you will have it, all the ingredients to do that training success. And we always say it's not about we put, I don't know, so many level challenges, questions there. No, it's about the other person in the other side. The professional coming need to have this attitude to pass through it, to solve the challenge, to think and get the logic, because at the end is the most important. You get your logic, Richard BSS logic, and you go with that. You have now this small seed on the ground, and now this small tree will continue growing and growing with you. And this is at least our intention, what we want with the professionals, that they are coming, that they are growing and getting better. And we know this is really personal, because of course, let's say 5 months is really intense experience when you are working at the level that you were working and you are now working, right, Richard? And it's quite challenging. But we would like to ask you, from your point of view, your professional experience, like BIM expert, and which is the different when you were, for example, starting a project from the BIM point of view, from the Revit point of view, and now when you need to start to think on systems, or let's say to develop a logic in Grasshopper, how was this different between before and now from your point of view? I'm really interested on that part.
It is very different. So I guess when it comes from an architectural project from a BIM point of view, as I mentioned at the top of the call, BIM is about managing information. And typically, or some years ago, when I'm purely working from a technical architectural point of view, it's about setting up the Revit project. It's about creating all of the contractual documentation. It's about understanding who is a part of the team, who's collaborating, how are we going to collaborate? What are the deliverables, whether that's 2D deliverables, 3D deliverables. So it's really kind of understanding the information and how are we structuring this information. So I've had a really good opportunity over the years to work at many different architectural firms. Some of them are quite famous, and we recognize some of the buildings around the world now. But this is the thing. Before I moved to Hong Kong, as I mentioned, I was just in this very technical world, and all the design had already been done, and then we were going through kind of a process of recreating this information when it came to technical delivery before delivering our project stages. But moving to Hong Kong and being given the opportunity to work with very closely with design architects, so I'm moving out of the technical world into purely design. So my mind is obviously still very kind of technical and very structured, but now I'm in a world where it's quite fluid and everything's changing quite a lot. So trying to understand how can I plug in like a kind of structure or rigid kind of approach to a very fluid kind of environment, right? And yeah, and this is that bridging the gap that I was talking about earlier. It gave me that opportunity to try and bridge the gap between the design and this fluid world into a technical and structured world, right? So yeah, that gap was bridged by taking on this course, by understanding what the designer most likely needs to go through in order to design a project. And then, and bearing in mind, I am not a designer, I do not design architectural projects, but in order to understand the designer at their level, I feel like I needed to become a designer, right? So that's why I took on this course, and it gave me a very high level and a very steep incline of knowledge and skill when it comes to computational design. So basically having that skill now, or being able to develop a very strong foundation of computational design skill, allows me to complement my extensive BIM or information management technical skill and blend those two elements together, kind of resulting in a more robust, I'd say, design technologist rather than designer or BIM manager. This is now a kind of a broader spectrum of skills that I possess. So yeah, I think that move to Hong Kong into the design world, having a solid technical background, allowed me to kind of bridge that gap now. So I feel like I'm able to support my teams when it comes to very complex design challenges in the context of the connection to the BIM environment, but I'm able to, confidently advise my teams on how we need to structure our information. BIM is about managing information. In the design world, it's about managing the geometry, managing the design data. How do we get that information into the next environment? So yeah, I think I really do feel like a more rounded professional now, that I have this very deep understanding of computational design and interoperability, which again, as I said, complements my technical skill in BIM management.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the detailed answer. And it's true, the situation. I mean, 10 design your office, you are pushing a lot of design, you are going really to the boundaries of complexity and doing really cool projects. Now that you have there also in the web page if someone is curious. But the important is you were already having these two important software, like is the Rhino, right, for the early stage of design of what we are doing, the first sketches or ideas of 3D modeling, and then pushing to Revit. It's always a big step. When we have these Rhino models, sometimes they are fast, sometimes need a bit of care, analyze, cleaning and filtering, and prepare them for the construction steps, right? And this gap that sometimes sounds like should be natural. No, I take just this model. A lot of people, a lot of professionals, we know they just start, for example, the model from scratch, from zero, and they start in Revit building from the grid all the elements one by one with the new logic that they need in Revit. No, and it's true, as you mentioned, this percent of waste in the time and the resources of the companies is a really huge point, that why more people decide to learn or to train those skills, because they don't want to waste time anymore. They don't want to leave the time living, and also in big offices, as you are working with so many employees, that is increasing exponentially, depending on the number of projects and things are ongoing. So I totally understand this big need that your office was having there. Also, we need to clap you for assuming the responsibility to be the professional leading these chains, because it's a chance to know what they are doing and connecting more the world of the first stage of this design, this prototyping, this 3D modeling presentation to client ideas, even competitions, to the construction world. So it sounds like, yeah, it's natural and we do really easy, but is not. There is a lot of work behind, and probably your work will open more new professionals wanted to collaborate with you, supporting, and you will have a team that will grow with time, and that will be a really important thing because we save a lot of resources and time to your office, no? And I think, as you say, is a beautiful thing, this movement from the technical world, more from the construction pure beam to the design world, that when you went to Hong Kong, because you need to empower the design of your colleagues, and you need to give to this design the best quality as you can achieve immersed in reality and construction outputs, right? And this gap, it's really interesting, really special, and solely people with the delicate passion for architectural design and detailing, that can be there and doing their best, that the project, these first ideas that we have with the projects, they arrive in the best way to the final detail. When we give the keys to the client, I would say in the old times, nowadays you don't even need keys, but when you finish this project, these ideas, they arrive in the best shape to that level, budget and a lot of problematics that we have when we are building. But yeah, we can see this gap, and that you assume a lot of responsibility there, and also that will bring a lot of success, for your office. And we hope to see you there in the next year, leading this plan and also doing with a nice preparation and resources from your team. That's will be a nice story to continue sharing.
For sure. I mean,
Yes.
you made a point about like the waste, and this is one of the things that BIM tries to issues that BIM tries to address, right? Is how do we kind of reduce or cut out that waste? So this was hopefully my contribution to our industry, my company, to help reduce that waste and increase the efficiency. So hopefully now, with this skill set, I'll be able to lead our company in this kind of effort to create a bit more of an efficient environment between different architectural teams. But
Great. I don't know if I'm checking if we have extra questions. If not, also we can ask you for the next steps, Richard, how you see future after these months, how you are facing the next steps and the next challenge that you want to assume that you want to perform. And also, how are you thinking in your colleagues, how to transmit, how to share, how to implement this working methodology. Let me share, or let me listen your opinion, what you have in mind for the future and what is coming for next for you.
Okay, so firstly, I would say this type of knowledge or this type of like course content, I think personally at the level that I've done it at is quite rare. It's quite hard to find such good content in such a structured way. Now, to take on such a challenge is, it's quite a big decision. And in order for our company to really lead the industry or push forward just for ourselves, as you mentioned, someone has to take the initiative and, become more knowledgeable. And I feel like I've done that this year. Now that I've done that, my plan here in 10 Design is to create, and it's actually already happening at the moment, creating a design technology group. So we have offices all over the world, Asia, Middle East, Europe, and the States. So we have offices in all of these locations, and sent out, I guess, let's say, surveys to understand like who knows what and at what skill level they are at. And this information I was able to then bring back together and then understand who could be part or who would be suitable for a design technology group. So setting up these group of people, and these are people with a range of different skills, from artificial intelligence to design to sustainability to BIM management. So we have like a lot of different types of skills, and I wanted to put this group together with the support of obviously the leadership here at 10 Design. And then with these range of skills, now that I have quite an extensive niche kind of knowledge set, is to then spread or teach my team, my design technology team, around in the different offices, these certain concepts. essentially. So they can then build on these concepts and then start implementing them or permeating that information into their project. So in terms of what we are doing now is, as I said, setting up this core group of people, and then we're going to set about, well, we actually already developed a roadmap. It was a design technology roadmap, and this course, this knowledge was one of the missing pieces, which I've now gained. So a part of the design technology or the interoperability knowledge, we have, just core Revit knowledge. We have ISO 19650 knowledge. We now have, as I said, interoperability knowledge, visualization knowledge. So all of these facets or all of these elements now that we now possess are now going to be able to be shared amongst our design technology group. And then whether we have a project in Europe, whether it's in China or whether it's in the States, this core group of people are equipped with the skills to be able to deal with any of the, let's say, whether it's computational design challenges, data transfer challenges, or let's say just when it comes to BIM standard challenges as well. So I feel like what I'm doing is building up elements of expertise in myself, in my team, and then I feel like we are able to divide and conquer essentially across 10 design globally. So that is essentially my plan. It is in action at the moment, albeit it's in its infancy stages, because I've recently just graduated from this, which is probably one of the crown jewels, I would say, within my knowledge set. So now that that is complete, I plan to continue, with good energy with my design technology team, and get the knowledge out there and train our people, understand what projects people are having issues with, and try to address those issues with skill set that we now possess. So yeah, that is my what I'm doing at the moment and my kind of plan going forward.
Really ambitious and important plan that you are already doing, and we are sure that will be a great benefit for all the employees in 10 design. Can I ask you, Richard, how many people more or less is working in 10 design, that the others understand the volume of work that you are mentioning, because yeah.
Well, I should know the exact number, but recently or earlier this year, we actually acquired or merged with an American architectural organization called SB Architects. So they're now called 10SB. So it's difficult now that we've got like that organization merged with our organization to tell you the exact number, but we have multiple thousand people, a few thousand people across the globe.
Yeah. It's another volume of operation logic and time. But the nice point.
It's not going to be, I'm not claiming that this is going to be kind of click your fingers and it's done. No, I'm here for the journey. I'm here for the long haul. And yeah, over time, over this year has been quite an intention anyway of absorbing information. So 2025, we're now going to be, starting to implement this information. So implement the new skills based on the information that we've acquired. And then, going on to 2026, 2027, we should be, going full steam ahead now with a new way of working and a more efficient style of managing our projects. And hopefully the information, we keep on top of it, we're always learning. So hopefully we can just all keep learning together and keep building our skill levels till we are just as robust as is necessary to deal with any project, whether that's simple or complex, in an intelligent way.
Great, and also nice always your attitude that thinking on all these human systems mixed with computer and how to take the best from each part. No, I think it's really ambitious, but I'm sure that you will do great these next steps, and also the timing that you mentioned now is quite reasonable. No, that you have this period to do each step in the correct way in the company. But I think the most important also you will see, and probably you are already enjoying, is the excitement with your colleagues. Hey, I found this new plugin. Hey, check this, check. And this normal day excitement with the technology, enjoying what's going on in the scene. It's, as you mentioned, so many things ongoing that is really exciting to create this team to share with your colleagues and also to get better together, not to exchange and put this knowledge or these inputs in the normal day projects. This is a really great thing to do, and that will make more fresh the whole environment and even more energetic. That we are sure you are having a lot of projects, but that will bring also more a nice energy to the whole team. That's a really good point. I don't know. Yes. I only want to say, Richard, if you want to mention something else, something special, person, something you want to close today. We want to close this nice virtual graduation from the distance, but now feeling closer, at least with the technology. But you want to close the event saying something.
Yeah, for sure. I think you touched on it earlier. I couldn't have done this without many people, and I can't actually see who's on the call at the moment on YouTube Live, but there is a lot of people from my immediate family who are all in the UK in Birmingham to best friends who are here, and very importantly to my partner who has supported me through this as well. So this is, it's been really, really, it's been quite emotional, and it has also been quite challenging. So without the support of my colleagues, my friends, there's too many of them to name, but they've all contributed in a huge way for me to get to this point with my education and my professional development as well. So yeah, to be honest with you, it would be, just big thank you to everybody that cares for me and has cared enough for me to help me get to this point. So yeah, and it's going back to the point of, the amount that we've actually learned through PAZ. It's interesting because we're going to start to implement all of these concepts that I've learned. But what's interesting for me to know is the fact that they don't even know what's coming. Some of the stuff that we've done is huge. It's really mind blowing. So that at the moment they can see like the little kind of we're creating certain elements and we're able to kind of send them to Revit, change them in design software, and they update automatically. But when it comes to the structural analysis elements, visualization elements, and some of the really kind of intricate or complex elements of the challenges, it's these types of things which one I found extremely interesting, and you almost feel your brain growing at that point. So it's this that I'm looking forward to impart with my teams here, to see how these guys with that immense skill that they possess, see how they can take on this information and then expand it and develop it further.
Thanks a lot, Richard, for all these months and your attitude, always fighting and dealing with the challenge, complexity, also sharing the support that we need, all of us, in our lives. And it's so important to keep this foundation, this structural, all these things that we have on the best way, and also look into the future. We want to close this virtual graduation saying thanks to all the people behind doing all these things possible and also pushing for education, especially in the construction side and the design, architectural engineering. And yeah, we are already open for next promotion registration for the BSS title. If someone is interested, they can check on the web, and we will be really happy to start the discussion with them in this journey. But the most important, have a nice time. Merry Christmas. And thanks a lot, Richard. Congratulations. Our last BSS, our last professional. And thanks. Thanks a lot, Richard. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye bye.
Okay, I cut it.
Okay.